Good morning, everybody. And yes, we are live. Okay, not Memorex, we are live. Okay, I made it back in time. And we're going to get into the whole shapeshifter thing today on Saturday Paranormal Morning Brew Show. Okay, that'll be the subject matter. So share, like this out, send it to all your other compadres that are online, and we're going to get into the meat of it after I get the announcements done. Okay. Nighthawk High Strange, this podcast channel, and all the podcasts on the channel, including Into the Red Rabbit Hole and the Paranormal Weekend Morning Brew shows and any other shows that we put on at the last minute, declare fair use on all content to be used in the podcast per the Copyright Act of 1976 under Section 107, otherwise herein known as the Fair Use Act, for purposes of commentary, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, research, parody, general knowledge only, and let's not forget the entertainment value. Okay, because we all know it's entertaining, especially when you're working on your third cup of coffee in the last 10 minutes because you just got home. Anyways, that is going to do it for that. And I want to say hello to everybody. Okay, we had some things we had to take care of this morning, so let's see who's in the house. We've got Ida, good to see you. Val, good to see you. Scott, good to see you. Roxanne, good to see you. All right. Let's see. Roger, good to see you, Roger. Hope you're doing good. And David's in the house. And Lori, good to see you. I hope you're doing well. Yeah, I got my exercise this morning, Lori. I I had to go into town, and unfortunately, I took the bus and had a little bit of a jaunt to take today. So I got my 10,000 steps in. So it's amazing I even made it back, but I got it done. Scott, good to see you, man. Excellent to see everybody. Who else we got? Let's see if the big Fluffy's going to come on. I don't see the big Fluffy yet. You all know who I'm talking about. That E.D. Testerman guy that Roxanne's having to keep an eye on. Blue Doe, good to see you. Yeah, I'm full of caffeine right now, and I guess people call that piss and vinegar. So yeah, I got my lungs cleared out first thing this morning. So did my running around literally, and got back here in just enough time to make a pot of coffee and go live. So I figured I'd go live. And the subject matter, what I want to talk about with everybody, is the shapeshifter phenomena that's going on. Okay. Now, we all know that, you know, when you're dealing with the demonic have an ability to shapeshift. Okay. We know that aspect of it. Okay. The supernatural aspect of it. That's pretty much a given. Okay. That they can shapeshift. But I'm talking about, and I'm not talking about the walkers. Okay. I'm not bringing that up at all because walkers are different than shapeshifter entities. Okay. And a lot of people, when they automatically see something that they can't comprehend, and it's a weird, almost unhumanoid looking thing on four legs, they always tend to go to skinwalker. Everything's a skinwalker. No, not everything is a walker. Okay, not everything is a walker at all. Okay, what we fail to realize is that when it comes to dealing with Native American ceremonies, whether it's the dark art ceremonies or whether it's the good way ceremonies, um, those are more of a deity possession that makes that transference of energy and physical transference. Okay, to make the medicine people of the indigenous cultures to change. Okay. It's not a curse. It's not an alien gene. It's not any of that. Okay. It is literally derived from the ceremony, wearing the skin of the animal that you want to portray. Okay. And enveloping yourself and manifesting that deity. Okay. To make that change. Okay. Take it from somebody who's been there. Okay. Been there, done that dozens of times. Okay. Um, Probably almost 100 times actually, when I was younger. But anyways, the shapeshifters I want to talk about are more. I don't even want to like limit it to the alien aspect of things. Okay. I want to talk about the shapeshifters that populate our planet, okay, that live amongst us, that own corporations, that own federal banking institutions, that own governments in their back pocket, okay, everything, including the WAR machine. Okay, the WAR machine. We all know what that is. David and Melissa, I'm sure you know. Roxanne, I'm sure you know. Val, I'm sure you've heard of it. It is the military industrial complex, which is a guarantee because reptilians are a shapeshifter. Okay, there are ways that they do it that they can portray themselves as being humans. Okay, and they are amongst us. Okay, in our governments, in our corporations, in big captains of industry. Okay, um, they are the types that don't really concern themselves with the environment. Okay, that they're currently in, because the environment that they came from wherever they came from is completely different than what Earth's environment is. Okay, so they have to shapeshift into a human form, and even to be able to have the ability to breathe in a lower um, oxygen level planet. I think our oxygen for humans range in the planet on the planet. If we don't cut any more trees down or have any more wildfires, because we know that is a way to change the the geography of things, okay, that we take for granted every day, the trees, the water, everything. Okay, even the sun, we know they're messing with that. But you know Reptilians have several different ways of doing it. And I did an investigation down in Newmarket in Virginia, and down near David and Melissa's place. And what I found out was this young lady had told me at one of the Bigfoot conventions that there was a reptilian community in that area in the mountain there, going towards Luray, Virginia, as a matter of fact. And I did some research on it, and I did some investigating on it, and I found out that yes, it is true. Okay. There is a populace. And as the more I investigated this, and this was years ago, okay, the more I found out that they are literally among us. They could be sitting at a table in a restaurant next to our family as we're eating. Okay. They have ways of doing it to where they can either change their genetics. They have silicone suits that I call them skin suits. The CIA uses the same type of a gimmick. We all know it from presidents being disguised, as somebody else to go about whatever routine they need to. And the CIA may even have a connection to the reptilian populace on the planet. Okay. Now, that's not to say that every reptilian is an evil one. Okay. Now, here's the thing. Now, see, I'm starting to get out of breath because I did all that running around today. So bear with me. Okay. Basically, now we're going to get into the entities that can physically shift. Okay. Because the reptilians can use a kind of like a brainwashing effect, mind speak. Some people call it, to where they can make you think that you're looking at a tree, and instead of seeing a reptilian, or you're looking at another human instead of seeing a reptilian. They have that ability. Okay. But the entities that are living amongst us too, that have that ability, are not from this dimension, not from even this planet. Okay. They traverse through wormholes, through portals, and other means of travel to get to our planet. Why? And this is why. Humans are easily manipulated. Their ability to determine reality from fantasy is non-existent. Okay. The ability to control the humans' minds is 150% up here. It's gotten to the point where even AI is playing a role in everything. Okay. Now, we all know that last night I touched on Watson, the IBM computer back in the late 70s, early 80s. IBM brought it out and said that they had this AI computer named Watson, and they would put it up against any human who can play chess and all that. And it did defeat, the Russian chess champion, and the European chess champion, and the American chess champion at the time. And we know AI is at a place right now, in its growth, that it's getting harder to discern what we see on social media because of AI. Okay. You see people posting, oh, giants remains found, and it looks like an old picture and all that. I guarantee 95 to 99% of those pictures are just AI and created. It has nothing to do with our past or our present. Okay. The CIA is using AI to manipulate the masses. Okay. There is a podcast out there called what is it? Oh man. I'll think of the name during this one, and I'll post it on the chat. But there are currently said to be anywhere from 13 to 14 different shape shifting alien alien beings on our in our culture, in our societies, amongst us every day. Okay, some of those shape shifting entities or beings are terrestrial, from under the ground, inner Earth, as you say, or a parallel universe, or another dimension. Okay, some of them are even time travelers. Okay, where they can shift. In fact, there was a video of a young man that was getting assaulted that was wearing a backpack, and I think it was in, I want to say it was in Tijuana, Mexico. Okay, down along San Diego's border of Mexico and San Diego, and it showed this young man getting jumped by somebody because the guy was trying to get his backpack, and it showed this entity coming out of the young man that looked like a dog man or a wolf in form, and it fended off the individual, and the individual ran away. Okay, and the entity went back into the person, and the person got up and briskly walked away. That actually is a legitimate video that has been passed around. Okay, there's a lot of weird stuff that happens in South America and middle America, along Mexican and Honduras and Guatemala areas. Okay, there's a lot that we don't know that goes on down there. Okay, so we have to consider that. All right, in the factor. Now, I don't think Eric's going to actually join us this morning. I sent him an invite, but I don't think he's going to actually join us. He probably slept in, which is fine. But anyways, getting back to the whole shapeshifter thing, um, the whole ability of doing it and labeling everything a walker, an S walker, is pretty far fetched. Okay, because when you're dealing with a shapeshifter deity from a ceremony, whether it's black arts or the white arts, you're dealing with something that is basically supernatural. Okay, in its foundation. Okay, its foundation isn't something that can just change its genetics. Okay, on a whim. It's something that has to possess the medicine people to make that change into a walker. Okay, now these other, let me get a sip of coffee. These other beings, okay, have the ability, through either a device that they wear to change the way they look, or through their actual genus as a species, like a chameleon, to be able to change into whatever it needs to. Okay. And back in the 1950s, there was a research project that nobody knows about. And I stumbled on it by going through some documentations years and years ago. This was back in, I want to say 94, 93, 1993, 94. And I found this documentation through the Freedom of Information Act. And ever since I found it, I haven't been able to re-find it. It's one of them things that just disappears. It talked about the government having a program called Chameleon. Okay. Now, what they were doing was they were trying to mix the DNA of a chameleon with human DNA. Okay. And the way it was described in the paperwork was it was a genetic study to see if they could make a human being that had the ability to disguise itself with its environment. Okay, within its environment. Okay. Oh, he's had to restart his computer. Anyways, Operation Chameleon um, fascinated me because it almost appears like, well, David and Melissa, you know, and I'm sure Roxanne and a few others in the chat know that when you're dealing with the military, we have a lot of programs that are very secretive. Okay, and I almost want to say that maybe, just maybe, the possibility of the Glimmer Man or the Shimmer Man, the predator type of a cloaking, would even be the outcome of that secret program, that special access program in 1993, where they researched the genus of the chameleon lizard and the human. I think that program was associated with the super soldier program. So that actually has the innate ability to change to its environment, okay, to where you wouldn't be able to see it. Okay, it would look like you're looking at a mirror of water, basically, or a shimmer. It would you just be able to make out the outline, and then by the time your eyes focus on it, it's gone. Okay, that's one type of a shapeshifter. Okay. So, that being said, we have to take in consideration the possibility that these entities are around us every second of the day and that they are manipulating also governments of the world. They are manipulating industry of the world. Okay. Um, Literally every aspect. Okay. Humans, when I say humans are slaves, I mean that in a cattle form. Okay. Now, we all know cattle are basically categorized as dumb beast, beasts of burden. Okay. And we all know what happens to cattle, through mutilations and all that. Okay. But at the same time, we all know what happens to humans who turn up missing and then are found with their clothes on backwards or parts of their body removed. Okay. We are not only experiments for these other entities that live amongst us and that actually monitor us from the moon or other aspects under our feet, for one of them, Dulce, New Mexico, for one of them. Yep, we are food. Very good. Yep, that's what I was getting to, Scott. You're reading my mind, brother. You're reading my mind. Are you sure you're not an alien, Scott? Anyways, um, food, adrenochrome, genetic studies, all this is entailed in the disappearance of humans, okay, and the disappearance of children. All right. We need to look no further than the fact that the current administration that we're under basically turns a blind eye to these missing people and these missing children. Okay. Why they have the gates open to bring in new cattle. Think about it. Bring in new cattle from other countries, free and clear, set them up, take their kids, experiment on their children, use them for genetic research, and do what Fauci did. Okay. Franken Fauci is what I call him. Franken Fauci is a scientist that is really out there. There was a report done on a previous news agency. I don't really want to disclose it, but we all probably watch it. Okay. where Franken-Fauci actually was caught on video admitting that they were taking unaccounted, undocumented children, okay, without guardianship and using them for research, okay? The cough research. And the ones that don't, how do I want to say this, that don't carry on and have a bright future are basically disposed of like garbage, mass graves, other locations. And there was a location in New England that was brought up, in Connecticut, as a matter of fact, where he was actually caught red-handed. He was caught red-handed in the act of basically disposing of the unalived, okay? Because of their studies, okay? Their NIH studies, okay? Let me see here. I can't find this video, but a woman was hunting, and it's, yes, in Ohio. It was in Ohio. I know the one you're talking about, Roxanne. That was in Ohio, and the woman was hunting, and she caught on video the Glimmer Man. Okay, and I really, really do believe that that is something that was developed. Okay, I had a theory earlier about them possibly being time travelers or the Watchers, watching over humanity, which is still a possibility. But at the same time, I think our own super secret programs, the special access programs of the military, the black budget programs, actually have incorporated the chameleon operation, okay, into that to make a super soldier, okay. So they have the innate ability to change anything, like anything in their environment, okay. They can transfer the color that they're in to, say, the color on a wall. Even if there's a picture on the wall, they can incorporate the picture into that camouflage, okay. That camouflage is the same thing as like using the fiber optics, okay. There's fiber optic suits out there that have been developed that a lot of the alien races use them. That's why you have a lot of reports of them wearing these skin tight suits. Those are fiber optic suits, to where it takes a picture of what's in front of them and puts it on them, so they actually are disguised front and back from being seen, okay. A lot of things that go bump in the night that you don't see aren't really ghosts. It could be actually these chameleons, okay. At least what I call them is chameleons, okay. These shapeshifters. I'll be right back. Better have coffee because I'm running out. And as soon as my lungs empty out, that's it. I'm done for today, guys. Probably ground up in McDonald's burgers. Yeah, I've had reports to that, of children's teeth being found in the actually the sausage McMuffins and stuff. There was a report out about that. Let's see what David says. Soviet Green in '73 movie, where when they reached a certain age, you were turned into food. Could that be happening now with the bioengineered stuff in the food? That's very true. Very true. I didn't even actually make that connection, David. So that's a good connection there. We all know that the cloning is happening. Okay. they utilize the stuff that they put in our food, and in our drinks and stuff, to make us more susceptible to being controlled. And we all know that it's the old, cowboy with the rope and lassoing the cattle type of a trick. Okay, it's the oldest rope trick in a book. If you can actually control the food and water intake of an animal or a being, you can control the being or the animal, literally, by what you put in the food. Okay. The CIA did that whole um, mind meld thing, and basically, back in the 60s with the LSD that they were actually, and even the Iran Contra affair, um, bringing drugs over the border through the CIA, to experiment on people. They would put that stuff in public drinking water, and people wouldn't know it. And people were hallucinating and all kinds of stuff back in the 60s and 70s. Those of us that lived through it, we know it. We know it for fact. Okay, it happened. Okay. Now, is this a program that is continued? Is what we need to ask ourselves. We need to figure out, is it a program that's continued? Are they actually have they gotten to the point where they can make not only a glimmer man or a shimmer man, or clones, but can they actually incorporate a species of gene splicing that would make the clones, or alien DNA, affect a physical change of appearance like a shapeshifter? Okay. And it's very, very possible they could have. They very well could have. So, what's this? I'll send a rope for you. Okay. Now we're getting into weird stuff. Okay. I heard about something like those suits that a couple of the Raytheon engineers several years ago. Yeah, Roxanne. Raytheon is a big partner in it. Raytheon actually has a facility in the Antarctic too, in the South Pole, that does a lot of genetic research there. That's why a lot of people come out of that area with horror stories of giant spiders and these beings and stuff, because it's all genetics. Good morning, girl with a gong. Good to see you. Let me see what David has to say. Why can they not explain why they put the bio stuff in the food and water, or they just refuse to answer the project, their agenda? Yeah, they're doing it to protect their agenda. Yes, definitely, David. And that's why everybody's so up in arms now with the new Secretary of what is it? The Secretary of Health, because he's promised to remove all those harsh chemicals and stuff from our food and our water. Okay, and our drinks. All the red dyes, the yellow dyes, all the chemical ingredients. He's made a promise to have it all removed. Okay, I mean, you take and you compare a Twinkie that's made and shipped to the UK and sold in the UK, where it has 5 ingredients, compared to a Twinkie that's sold here in the States and has 29 ingredients. Why? Because they are adding stuff to continue their operations of manipulating our species. Okay? Plain and simple. Plain and simple. Oh, here's that ED Testerman. I'm going to make him talk for the last half an hour of the show, everybody. Let's pick his brain. Pick his brain, everybody. Pick his brain. Dr.
Finally.
Greer, I think his name is Eric Hicks. Yeah. Yeah. Stephen Greer was he still is technically an emergency room doctor that basically got into the UFO and alien type of communication things and a lot of the special access programs of the military as a consultant. So because of his medical background, I guess. So yeah. Yeah, yeah, I remember that whole thing that he talked about. Well, you ready to talk your lungs out there, young fella?
Man, this thing, daggone thing, Jiminy Christmas.
I've been going for 36 minutes already, and I think everybody's getting sick
Well,
of me.
what's sad is apparently I was in the wrong room originally because I was in the backstage of a room waiting. I was like, okay, he's not in yet. Still maybe a little longer. So I was like, I want to restart my computer, go top off my coffee. And then I'm looking through YouTube and I went, holy crap, he's live. I was like, oh crap. So I
Yep.
came in here, got everything fired up. Then my camera and my mic didn't want to work. So I was like, I'm gonna have to restart again. Oh
Yeah,
man.
I got everything done, but Tracy and I got everything done with our son's help, Dylan's help, and we got back
Cool.
here about 15 minutes to 11. So I had like very little time to get everything together. So I got it all together. The topic we're talking about are shapeshifters, and we both
Oh.
have experience with that. Okay. And we both know about the secret projects and all that, and we both know about the reptilians and then the demonic aspect of shapeshifters and all that, and how we need to separate the S walkers from actual shapeshifter entities, because not everybody's labeling every shapeshifter they see an S walker, and that's not right. That's not how
Mm-hmm.
it's supposed to be. So anyways, maybe
Well,
you can help enlighten everybody a little bit and talk to everybody. Demaria, good to see you. Good to see you. Um, and let them know what you think. I'm going to sit back for about 2 minutes and let you talk and enjoy some coffee and just listen, okay? Because I got to catch
yeah,
my
no
breath.
worries. So yeah, I mean, well, shapeshifters has been if you study any kind of ancient culture, ancient history, shapeshifters is all throughout that thing. Uh, I had thank you. So, I mean, they have them all over. Now, I mean, your most common one you hear about, yes, is reptilian. But if you read ancient writings, even sci-fi's, I mean, so much stuff in past and present deals with shape shifting, and we're seeing results every day. I don't know if I still have that one or not. Let me see if I still got it. I may have that one video you sent me a while back, bro, of one happening. I'm trying to get things switched over to my external and see if my
Oh, I
computer
know
don't
which one
run
you're
better
talking
that
about.
way.
I got it. I got it right here. Hold on. I'll play it.
Okay, I was going. Well, I didn't know if you could or not because because of your deal. Now, this is one we've talked about this. Good morning, 2A. We've talked about this quite a bit. We can't 100% say this is real, but there's a lot of interesting stuff to it. But sadly, there's so many like this out there that is very realistic. And it's showing a lot of different possibilities of these happening. Now, like I said before, ancient cultures talked about this type of stuff, mainly like I said, dealing with reptilians. But you also got vampiric side of it that talks about shape shifting, zombie sides of it that talks about shape shifting. There's so many different things tied to the supernatural and aliens that it goes with this. Now, we talked a little bit about this last night. If you study the script or study the old stuff, it talks about how reptilians are most of your ancient stuff will tell you reptilians live on the planet under the crust of the earth, where the Draco, which is the evil ones, the ones that control everything, are from outer space. So if these reptilians are coming up and shape shifting,
Good morning to it.
Shapeshifting definitely a possibility of being out there. I can't dispute it. That video is really cool. Now, is it AI? I don't know. Was that one dude added in after this? But it's
I
weird how you
think
see that skin sticks to him, and
I
then
think that was actually photo videotaped from a big to do dinner that the was held in Washington D.C. And
yep.
because the research that I did on that, I basically found out that that was probably 95% legitimate video. That wasn't
Oh,
hoaxed in any way. Oh, thank you, girl with a gong. Thank you so much, dear. That
you're
means a
awesome.
lot to me. That means a lot to me. Thank you.
Yeah, the only part of that video to me that seems fake is that dude that comes in at the end. That is the only thing that's never put me on 100% with that video, because that dude coming in from the end, that towards the end, is the only thing that's weird about the whole thing. But it's awesome. I mean, it's a great, but there's so much representation of it. Now they got Elvis talking about how Elvis's face shape shifted. I've not studied on that video a whole lot yet, so I mean, I don't have a lot to comment on that. This
Elvis
is
went
something
home
that
to his
has
planet.
just came out. Yeah. Well, I'm a firm believer that Bob Joyce in Arkansas, the preacher, is Elvis Presley. I'm sorry, the dude
Well,
looks like him, sounds like him. Even his son said that his Elvis impersonator said, "I can't sing this song because it's my father's song, so I'm gonna have my father sing it." And that was Graceland
hmm,
or Dixie.
hmm.
So I don't know if you guys have ever studied Bob Joyce, but the man sounds and looks identical. And so many people know Bob Joyce came out and said, "Yeah, he wanted to be a preacher, but he couldn't be a preacher as Elvis."
Right.
So I mean, that's a different rabbit hole right there. But it's cool. But this new stuff coming out where he shapeshift, man, I don't know. I'm not ready to jump on that bandwagon yet. It is
Yeah.
too new
Well, I
and
mean, it's the
very
same thing.
little.
It's the same thing they're saying about Michael Jackson too now, that
Yeah.
Michael Jackson isn't dead, and that he is actually that one guy that befriended him that is disfigured. He even sounds like Michael Jackson. So,
Hmm.
I mean,
Yeah.
who's
Yeah.
to
That's a
say?
new one too.
And it goes back to what I said in the beginning too of the podcast. When it comes to AI, we really have a hard case in trying to determine what is reality and what is fantasy. Because
Yeah.
of
It
AI
it
now.
it is.
So,
That and this is a discussion that you and me and several others had multiple times as researchers and investigators. Trying to research and investigate nowadays is extremely harder than what it used to be, because there's too many actors out there portraying stuff, and there's too much AI coming out. Now, when it comes on these shapeshifters, man, we've dove deep into this with these actors and these politicians, and there's a lot of stuff that suggests that they're either immortals. We know that a lot of them are cloned, so I mean we know that's out there.
right.
AI is a lot of them as well, but could they be these reptilian shapeshifters? I'm not out of that realm of possibility as that being a factor. We've seen, I mean, prime example, PJ, uh, PJB. Times he's got normal teeth, times he's got like several teeth in his mouth, and I'm going, that don't look right, So could he
Yeah.
have been one of them? Absolutely. I mean,
Well,
this shape shifting.
how about the one bodyguard or whatever, the CIA guy that was with Obama and photographed where his face was actually, a
Oh
profile
yeah.
view of the guy that actually looked like a lizard. I can't remember what what
Oh
time frame it was, but Obama was president then, and the
yeah. I
picture,
think I've seen that.
yeah, the picture showed the guy with a really, really reptilian looking jawline and forehead and just overall head
Hmm.
shape, like he let down his guard.
Yep. Yeah, Roxanne, that's a good point. Well, I mean, so look at a lot of which bring religions in this. So your ancient religions, they all have a god, at least one god, if not all of them, that can shapeshift. I mean, we touched a little bit on that last night with the Greek gods and the Greek gods. You know, Zeus and all them could shapeshift. In Norse mythology, Odin could shapeshift and Loki can shapeshift. I mean, you're seeing so much of this tied in. Look at Native American lures. You have the SW and you have the big W that could do it. And then you got the mimics, and you got there's another one out there I'm forgetting too. Oh, the ain't the Raven Mocker one that can shapeshift too, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, the Raven Mocker can shapeshift.
Yeah, I
Also,
mean,
the
look at
Raven Mocker. Yeah, the Raven Mocker can also use the Raven to see for his eyes, if he needed to see far away. And
yeah,
that's an old Native American medicine man trick, by the way. We would use a lot of the birds of prey for that specific, connection to be able to
mm-hmm.
see things farther away. Um, and that's not out of the norm of possibility when you're dealing with ceremony. So that's the other reason why I think that maybe Bigfoot, Sasquatch, whatever you want to call them, has learned the abilities, or we learned the abilities from them over time, either or.
Yeah,
So,
and that's possible. You know, you got to think. You know, these things. You know, are the first beings. You know, the Shiatonkas, the Hotomotaneos. You know, not Hotomotaneos. And Lala de Glala. These are first beings. They know the ancient Hooger. You know, the ancient mind magic. They know
mhm.
the ancient rune magic stuff. They very well could have had knowledge of things to do that we, before we came to be, however it was we came to be, um, taught us that stuff. You know,
Right.
Odin hung himself on the life tree and sacrificed to himself to learn the right to read and understand runes.
Right.
You know, and he's known as the traveler. He's known as to come to Midgard and turn himself into an old traveler. You know,
Well,
an old.
let's take another look at that short video, that 24-second video of that
Yeah,
shapeshifter real quick, okay? And just see
perfect.
what we can catch to basically, because when you shapeshift, that's exactly how it would happen, because you want the blind spot to be away from the person that you're trying to convince that you're something you're not. You know what I mean? You want to keep that
Yeah.
blind spot away from them so they can't see your actual shifting ability. And I think that's why everybody's finding this bit of videotape very, very compelling, since it's at a
Mm-hmm.
big event in DC also. I'm going to go ahead and play it.
Yeah. Nah, it is just wicked.
Yeah. I mean, even if that is fake, that is the best editing job I have ever seen in my life.
Mm-hmm.
And this person that did this editing, if it is fake, should be in Hollywood with special effects.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, the type of people that's doing that stuff is actually making movies in Hollywood Scrooge right now. I mean, you got to think
Yep.
about that too. Oh man, I must have them transferred because I'm not finding a lot of this stuff that I used to have on here. What's sad is like my external hard drive doesn't stay on. It'll stay on for a little bit, then cut off, and I gotta. So it's hard to find. Let me see if I got it. Something else. I mean, there's so much good stuff about this shape shifting stuff. I'm on the board of it definitely being real. I mean,
Right.
every single culture, ancient to modern,
Yeah.
has stuff about shape shifting in it.
Exactly.
There has
Exactly.
to be, just like we always talk about, behind every myth, behind every legend, there's always a kernel of truth to it. So if
Yep.
every single civilization, past to present, has these stories about these shapeshifters, there has to be kernel truth. People, for a long time, historians told you that Hercules was a mythology. Guess what they found a couple years ago? They found Hercules' grave.
Hmm.
You know, I
Yep.
mean, so when you get to listen to mainstream, that's why I don't like mainstream, because mainstream is proven wrong every single day. That's why I go with logic. You know, I study things and I look at it, and it's like a jigsaw puzzle for me, and I love puzzles. So every time I do research, it's a puzzle, man, and that's why I get excited about it, because I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
this piece fits pretty good here, and this is where I get my theses from, my theories. Is from putting these puzzle pieces together.
All right.
I still say the man in the mustache is weirdos. That is the only part of that video that I find it's off, Roxanne, is that one dude at the end, like I was saying earlier. That is the only part of that video that I find it's off. Everything else looks so dang good. So, and that could have been an add-on for later to discredit the video. And this is something else we have to look at. We have certain people that comes in people's lives. We have certain people that comes and edits videos and puts false videos out to discredit researchers
All right.
and to discredit theories. And this
Right.
is we've dealt with this for a long time. I mean,
Hmm.
it's known, well known, that three-lettered agencies goes into people's lives and mistakens to being somebody to discredit them. We
Yep.
know that they put out their own podcast to discredit people, to get people off of the truth. We know they edit videos to throw this type of stuff off. Is this one of those videos? Absolutely. This could be one of those videos
Right.
where that little dude was added in to throw people off from this, saying this is true.
Exactly.
Which
Hey, everybody,
I don't have.
if you would please like, heart, and share this out, and if you're not already subscribed to the channel, please go ahead and subscribe to Nighthawk Eye Strangeness, and go to the Bizarre and the Unknown channel and subscribe there, please. We're trying to build up the viewership on YouTube. Even though we're thinking of transferring our lives to Rumble, or at least me, because of StreamYard being so uh, selective now and pricey, um, not wanting to help out podcasters. So, also, I wanted to bring to the attention of everybody that, with the new administration coming in January, and this is the last I'm going to talk about it. They have actually put someone in charge of the press conferences. And you know who that someone is? That is Joe Rogan. Now, Joe Rogan is going to, because see, podcasters, news podcasters, and all that on social media were always blackballed, apparently, by mainstream media. Okay. Well, mainstream media has lost their finesse and their ability to talk truth, to people. Okay.
Yeah.
So the podcasters kind of took that over. Okay. And we all have talked about that, previously, how we
Mm-hmm.
basically had to get the word out. And we assumed that responsibility to being news commentary podcasts occasionally. Okay. And getting that news out. But now that the new administration is starting, apparently the word is from Next News Network and several other news agencies, including what is it, Rion agency, and AON agency for newscasting. Um,
Mm-hmm.
they are giving podcasters the premium locations during these news conferences now, and putting mainstream media in the back of the bus. So I thought that was very interesting. I thought that was very, very interesting how things are actually switching around. And now maybe, just maybe, we can get down to the nitty gritty and find out the truth in a lot of these things, like they're finding out with the disclosure thing with the UFOs. Okay. Maybe we can get into it with the whole shape-shifting alien thing. Because I know several congressmen that would love to find out more about that. I talk to one every week about that. So, it is what it is. Times are changing, and we need to go along with the times when they're changing. And I think that that once podcasters are taken seriously, and the reputable ones move ahead, that can actually give out the truth and the honesty in reporting, it's going to be a lot better for the paranormal community, the cryptid community, and the supernatural community. Okay. Because those are all gray areas that mainstream takes for granted every day. Okay. They refuse to acknowledge that it exists, and it does. It exists. We all know that. Okay. So that's why we're having this conversation about shapeshifters, because we all know that there is those out there that have that ability to shapeshift. Okay. That can make you think that they're humans, and they could be sitting right next to you or standing right behind you in the line at the bank. It's like I said on my announcement on Facebook the other day. You take the movie Matrix and you take the movie They Live, and you combine them together, and you've got what we are living in. Okay. Literally.
Exactly.
So
yeah. No, I mean there's a lot of stuff coming out now that it's so amazing. They finally admitted there's alien life. I've been watching that pretty heavy here lately. That Congress committee about aliens and UFOs, and them guys come out going, yeah, there's more than just us that's out there. What is say non-human life? And I went, ooh. Yes, finally.
Yep.
People like us has been called crazy and nut jobs and all this shit for years for believing what we believe in, and we're going, I told you so.
Exactly.
I hate to be that dude, but I'm that dude. I'm like, look, you talk trash on me for so many years. What now?
Yep. Exactly.
So it's, and I believe, because they even were talking about that one guy, I can't remember his name, because this deals actually with shapeshifting. He was talking about it, and he said there's a reptilian. If I remember right, it was him, or was it him, or was it another one I was watching? Now I can't remember. One of them was talking about that reptilians that we hear about is not the reptilians we hear about. They're human-like. I can't remember if it was on that one or a different. Now I'm confused on which one it was. I've been watching so much of this stuff here lately, kind of trying to keep up on that when I can.
Yeah, after a while, it kind of blends together, because we're trying to take in so much at once,
But somebody just came and talked about that.
Yeah, Girl in a Gong could that possibly be AI generated? Everything's possible with AI. But from my research into that video, I found out that I can honestly say that I'm about 95% positive that video of that shapeshifter is legitimate, because I have actually talked to people that were at that function, okay, in DC when that videotape was taken. And they may not have seen it happen, but they do know that those actual people were present at that dinner, that function.
Wow.
Which
even a dude in a mustache?
Apparently. Because I played it. I sent that clip to them, specifically to their email, and they emailed me back saying that yes, they remember seeing these people at that event. Now, we're talking and one of them is a really good, he's what he does in DC. I'm not going to fully disclose, but he is a lobbyist. Okay. but I'm not going to say for which organization, but it's a good organization. Trust me. It's a very good second rights organization. Okay. And basically, the other one is a Capitol police officer friend of mine. So that's what I'm putting out there. Okay.
Yeah, that little dude that goes to be big is the only part of that thing that's weird to me. The rest of it, dude, that's pretty cool. But I mean, we're seeing more and more of this stuff every day. Look how many videos we've shown on here and on mine of people's eyes going to lizard-like and then back to human, or you see the skin morph. I mean, we've hit this time and time again with these people because there's too much evidence out there now on it.
Right.
There's so much evidence showing that this is either A, they're wearing a mask to hide who they are, or B, I mean, we literally have seen videos and shared videos of people morphing, because they're either A, got relaxed or whatever it was, whatever the reason for them, their skin starts to deteriorate, and you watch them hit it and it kicks back. So I mean, I'm on that bandwagon of shapeshifters are real. I really am. I'm sorry. There's too much evidence through the historical and present records just that it don't, or that it that it does. We have to. I mean, we have. Where was I was wanting to say there was something pretty recent too, which I don't have the video on it. And I'm not talking about the Elvis one. There was another one pretty recent that happened. It was an oh crap moment on TV. I need to try to find the video. I've not been able to do a whole lot of research lately. I've been busting my butt trying to get these videos out to everybody on my YouTube. So I have not done a whole lot of research. A lot of my stuff is I'm listening to it while I'm going down the road at work.
Right.
We're born awake and the norms think we are crazy. Exactly, girl. The girl. Yeah. 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 The normies. Yeah. The normies ain't the normies. We're actually the normies.
Exactly.
That's why I mess with people all the time. People all the time tell me, dude, you're crazy as hell. I was like, you ever thought that maybe I'm the normal one and you're not? And they're like, don't mess with my head like that. We're kind of that way, man. Yeah, all of us doing this type of stuff and researching this is exactly how we are.
Exactly.
Now, I ain't gonna lie, I mess with stoners' heads quite often, telling them that, because I mean, there is the professional side of me, then there's the not on the screen side of me, and the not on the screen side of me is pretty fun and wild, but the not on the screen side of me will get me in trouble on YouTube.
Why do I not find that actually true?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah. I know shape-shifting is real. I've been in a fight with oh, the girl and her gong. No kidding. I've heard stories of that. I've never I don't think I have. I was probably not in the right state of mind. And so I can't 100% say I have or not. I'm a crazy lady with a big hat.
God,
it is what it is.
Oh God, that hurts.
It is. But so there's I'm trying to think of what I can get away with on YouTube and not. So I'm trying to pick my words carefully here, because I don't want to get you monetized.
Well,
now we'll save the rest of that. What I want to say for Rumble show, which if I can get this video. If I can get this video stitched together and finally downloaded, I am going to do a Rumble here probably around 1400 Central Standard Time or 2 o'clock Central Standard Time. Wait till tonight. Yeah. Yeah, rubber lid pins, because I finally got everything cut and edited, and now I've got to stitch everything together. I was up till 2:30 this morning working on this. Got up again at 8 o'clock. Went back to work on this. Was finishing up just before I came live. Whenever I had to restart my computer and realized I was in the wrong back room, that's why I didn't know William was actually live. So, and I just washed my cast iron pan and yeah. I just washed my cast iron pan. I was about to fry up some bacon bits and shave some taters and put in. It's like, I need some breakfast. And hopped on my YouTube, went, oh crap, he's live. My computer is in the process of restarting at this time. So,
Uh,
but
yeah,
so if I can
I
get all
just
that
wanted to.
done, then
Yeah, I just wanted to come on and talk about the subject because it's such a fascinating subject, and there's so many ways we can go with it too, though, with the whole shape shifting thing.
oh yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
even if you throw out the supernatural aspect of it with the demons and all that, and being able to have the ability to shape shift and angels, you rule that out, and you rule out the ceremonies of the indigenous medicine people that do the ceremonies to
Mhm.
shape shift. And then you're left with either alien or a being that is older than humanity that lives on this planet that has somehow inherently earned the right or the ability to shapeshift, whether it's through mind
Mhm.
speaking or whatnot, or technology. So,
Yeah. Well, I
Demos,
mean,
good to see you.
they're basically hey Richard, hey Demos.
Hey,
There's
Richard.
basically, I mean, from what I've known, there's two ways to shapeshift, and that's magical or natural born.
Right. Or curse.
Or curse. Yeah, well, that's still dealing with magic though. So
Yeah, technically. Yeah.
dark form. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So I mean, it's
and,
it's
and
very
that's the
real. I
thing.
mean, I'm
That's the thing when it comes to the dark arts. Take it from me, we would actually, you could pick up a stone and you can hex a stone, put a curse on a stone, and you can toss that stone into your neighbor's yard to where they'd never find it, and that curse would attach itself to that property and to that
mm,
family. Okay. So until they actually found that stone and removed that certain stone, the curse would still continue to be there. So the longer that stone was there, the longer the curse was there. You see my
yeah.
point? This is what I grew up in. Okay. I grew up
Mm,
in this. Okay. I know all about this type of stuff. Okay.
yeah.
And there's other things that we do too. Um, we used to do blessings with feathers for people that we
Mm-hmm.
cared about, and we would take those feathers and see feathers represent the angelic medicine. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
the angelic divine medicine, the white medicine, the clear
Mm-hmm.
light. Okay, the white light. Okay, and we would take those feathers and we would put them on properties, whether we'd hang them from trees or whatnot. Trees would actually be the best thing to do it, but we would hide the feather and leave it on the property, and that family and that property would be blessed. Okay, and consider having getting blessings and stuff, and only have good things happen. You see what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So for every bad thing, you have a good thing that you can do with the
Yeah.
arts. Okay, so I'm just putting that out there so everybody knows, okay? That's what,
Yeah. Yeah.
that's how it works, even with shapeshifters, okay? You can do it in a bad way or you can do it in a good way. So,
Yeah. Well, I mean, this is something I've never shared before. It's kind of not a proud moment in my life, but I mean, sadly, it's attached to me. We all know that I've got a side of my family that practices dark magic. I've seen it, never had a part of it, never want a part of it, never going to dive into it. But I've also got my grandpa, my mom's dad. My mom actually witnessed this firsthand. Had made a deal with Lucifer, and bad things happened to him after that. Um, happened to a lot of us after that. I mean, he got what he wanted for a little while, but at the end, that's why I always say, man, when you practice dark stuff comes to claim to collect its reward. And he got what he wanted when he made that deal, but that deal didn't last very long before he went nuts.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of bad stuff happened in my family after that. A lot of bad stuff still happens to us
Yep.
nowadays.
And the
And
evil that is in this world, the evil that is in this world that we call Satan or Lucifer, um, or
mhm,
a demon, it's they sometimes they will let humanity live their life without
mhm,
any problems whatsoever. Okay, to come to them, whether it's health or money or anything, they would let them have everything that they would ask for. Okay,
mhm,
because when you're in a prison cell, but you're being gifted all these things in your life, and it's
mhm.
a positive way of living, you're not going to assume or think or know that you're in a prison cell until that very time when that cell door is slammed shut and you are locked in there and not given a
Yeah,
chance to go to the light and to go,
yeah,
with the Heavenly Father, and repent.
mhm,
And when that door is slammed shut, it's done at a time when the evil picks, when you're your weakness, okay, and
mhm,
that's usually at the time of death. So
mhm.
you know you got to think of that too, folks. You really do. Do I
Yeah,
want to live my life basically doubting that there is a Jesus, that there is a God, that there is a heavenly Father, a creator of all, or and be delusional and run the risk of having that cell door slammed shut, and my soul being turned over to the dark? Or do I
mhm,
want to take a chance and believe in something that we are taught that is a good way and all that, with the very faint possibility that it may not be true, but it's not going to affect us in any negative way. It's going to affect us
mhm.
in a positive way, because if it does turn out to be true that Jesus is the way and that God the Father is the creator, the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end, what have we got to lose believing in that?
Right.
I mean, think
And
about it.
that's why I've always said I know Yeshua exists. I personally have seen him with my own eyes at a very, very low moment in our life when I was homeless and hurting and lost and confused. He came to me. And I also know Lucifer exists because I've seen too much of that dealing with my family not to believe that they do not exist. Now, I'm also a firm believer they're known by many different names by many different cultures. There's too much evidence to suggest otherwise. But I
Right.
can tell you, I mean, this is stuff I've. This is the reason why I dive into this stuff because it personally has affected me. You know,
Hmm.
a good part of my life, this negative, even though I was not a part of it, it's called residual effectiveness. I'm
Right.
residually affected by this stuff, even though I had no part in it because it's tied to my bloodline.
Right.
So when people tell you that, oh, it can't be passed down from bloodline to bloodline, I'm here to tell you you're full of crap. I'm living example that it affects you through the bloodline.
Right.
You
Exactly.
know,
Exactly.
this deal, this
Yeah.
this deal my grandpa made with Lucifer happened before I was born, and I'm
Yeah.
being affected by it.
Yeah. Well,
My
that's the
my
bad thing too about the dark arts too, though, Eric, is you can actually sacrifice the future member of your family to the dark arts to get whatever you want in your lifetime, and
mhm,
still, sacrifice that future,
mhm,
son-in-law, or that future son or daughter, or along that lines, or grandkids, or whatnot. And unfortunately, that
Yeah.
happens a lot when you're dealing with the dark arts. Um,
Mm-hmm.
it's there's generational curses out there that go for 10, 20 years, 100 years. That they can be broken. Curses can be broken. Okay, but it's a very, very sensitive way to do it. Okay, but they
Mm-hmm.
can be broken. So
Yeah.
just look at it that way. Hey, Dead Wolf, good to see you.
Hey, Dead Wolf. Um, yeah, I mean, it's so that's why I'm always trying to tell people you have to be cautious. I mean, you really, really have to be cautious. Because this stuff is very real, folks. This is not William and I trying to get clickbait. We've all lived in it in one aspect or another. He's a little bit more in depth in it than I ever was. I'm just on the outside catching a residual effect. But even with what I've dealt with and what I've seen with my own eyes, this shit is very real.
Yep.
Very,
Well,
very real. That's
everybody,
not something you want to play around with. So,
yeah, it's been
and
great. And it's been a long morning for me, and I'm definitely in some pain right now. Um, I'm not going to be able to do this much longer today, but we'll be back on tomorrow morning too. So
yeah,
tomorrow there's a subject I want to talk about with everybody too, and I'm going to see if I can get some videos uploaded so we can put them on tomorrow's podcast. But I heard something very, very interesting about these doors that are being found in the national parks out in the middle of nowhere. And I'd kind of like
holy
to
crap! I
cover
was just
that
watching a
aspect
video.
of it. So,
Oh, I was literally watching a video last night about that.
oh, really?
Yeah, I was
Yeah,
like, it caught me. It's like, oh
yeah.
wow.
I'd like to talk about that and the stairways too that they're finding. I think that'd be a good subject matter for tomorrow to at least start out with, okay? Because
Yeah,
we always start out on the subject, but we never know where we're going to end up, and that's the cool thing
no.
about this podcast is, we incorporate everybody in the chat. We try to take everything in and cover everything that we can cover
Mhm.
within a certain amount of time. So, but yeah, I've got some medications I got to take, and I'm in a lot of pain from getting out this morning.
Mhm.
So, Eric, why don't you go ahead and we'll be back on tomorrow morning, okay? But go ahead and tell everybody, what you got going on today and all that.
Um, well, if I can get this video for part two at Pythian Castle Paranormal Investigation done and uploaded, then I'm going to try around 1400 a day go live on Rumble with the current event stuff.
Yeah.
I'm trying to
Well, let
get
me
it
know.
done, but I've worked my butt off getting this part two done for you guys. That it's eating up a lot of my time during the week and during the weekend. It's eating a lot of my time up. If not, I mean, I'll be live at 5 o'clock Central Standard Time for campfire chats with Eric and guests. That's the channel or the time frame you guys can come in and share your encounters. That's it was created by you guys. That's your guys' show. It's a safe
Yep.
place to come and talk about your encounters. Um, Roxanne, yeah, you got me screwed. But
Uh,
so I will be having that tonight for sure. If I can't get the current events done today, I'm hoping to have everything done where I can at least do one tomorrow. Then I know I need to get
cool.
one done, especially talked about with everything that's going on right now.
Yeah.
To kind of remind everybody, what we've talked about, for a while now.
Yep.
So I need to get that done.
Yep.
Tomorrow, I will be doing a show. Hey Jeff, tomorrow I will be doing a show on the Black Shuck. It was asked to do one. So I'm hoping to have some time tonight
Hey,
to
Jeff.
do some little bit of research on that, to get my mind refreshed on it. I haven't had a chance to look into it for a couple of years now. I just know from my past history experience, well, knowledge passed down to me through my family history about the black shuck, which I've got two sides of it because my family comes from both sides of it.
Hmm.
So I'm going to get refreshed on that as long as I get a chance, if everything works out right. So we will be doing a show on the black shuck tomorrow. Um,
Cool.
it's an
All right.
interesting subject. It ties together with what I did last week with the wild hunt, so it'll be fun.
Cool. Yeah, it will be. All right. Awesome. Awesome. Okay, everybody. I want to thank everybody for being in the chat today. It's been fantastic talking with everybody. And my lungs are completely depleted right now. But,
Yeah.
you know, like we always say, question everything. Don't be afraid to do your own research and your own investigating. Um, don't don't take what people think or say about our abilities or our beliefs in the paranormal and supernatural type of things to heart, because we're never alone. There's always family out there, which is why we call ourselves the Weirdo Warriors in the chat. So everybody, we love you. Stay strong, question everything, and we will see you tomorrow morning here again at 11 a.m. Okay, and we're going to get into the doorways and the stairs to begin with in national parks,
Mhm.
and we might even get into other weird things in national parks. We'll cross that bridge tomorrow together. Peace, love, and
Yeah.
blessings to everybody out there, family
Yeah.
and Weirdo Warriors. Stay strong, question everything. God bless.
Peace, love, and blessings, everyone.